is Megan Crandall from Wishing Well Wreaths. And if you can, just like comment as you guys come in where you're from. And hopefully everything will be working technology-wise and you can see everything. I'm definitely a lot more the wreath making creative side rather than the technological side. So I'm really hoping that everything will work. So I'm just going to see if I can find myself on the screen over here. And see if I can actually make sure that I'm actually here. And I want to be able to read your comments, so. Hopefully I'll be on here. Okay. All right, it looks like we're good. It looks like we're good for now. Okay, so Megan Crandall from Wishing Well Wreaths. I tried last time I was far away and you couldn't really see the wreath very well. So tonight I have I have the table a lot closer. This is hanging a lot closer, and I have like this wreath stand here also, so hopefully you guys can be able to see better this time. So so if you guys again just want to comment where you're from, how you doing, what do you want to know, and I'll just kind of tell you what we're going to do tonight. I have decided I'm going to do a really fun fall wreath. And I'm going to use one of these really fun, I love that, you know, like that farmhouse style theme that's kind of going right now. Like that rustic, you know, so this is kind of like that weathered wood look. It's a really cute sign. I got it from K&J Designs, and they are actually one of the designers in my book that I have coming out. And in my book I have, it's called The Ultimate Wreath Maker's Guide, and I teach you everything that I know, from how to attach like these little wood screws to a sign to, you know, bigger, like teaching you like whole methods of how to put a wreath together. So I do that. I teach you those kind of methods, but I also have a designer list on there of, you know, where you can get all the fun signs, where you can get the fun character attachments. I know it took me a long time before I was able to find out that kind of stuff, and so I wanted to make sure that it was all in when I wrote the book and did all of the video for the book. I wanted to make sure that I had everything in there. So anyway, I have this fun sign from K&J Designs, and if you're interested in the book or just want to follow me, I have the link in my in the description for my email list. If you want to join that, you get a free money saving tips video tutorial from me. But let's get on with the fun stuff. So, oh, thanks Gladys for sharing. Okay, so tonight, okay, so I want you guys to see this. This is really, really cute. So my best friend, her name's Christina Hammond Brinker, and she has this awesome like witch hat tutorial out right now. And like for the next 48 hours, she's doing like a $5 off coupon. So that's like Virginia Wreath Company, and if you just type in live 5, I think it's all lowercase, you get like $5 off how to make these. And these are really cool. I also tell you in the book, you know, like when you're trying to sell wreaths, if that's what you want to do, if you're selling them and not just making them for yourself, you want like various price points for people to buy things from. And so those witch hats, they sell really well. So if that's something that you want to do, her tutorial is really good for that. You can get it at Virginia Wreath Company. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, so tonight, I thought I was going to do something really fun with fall. I've done Halloween, although I like making Halloween wreaths more than fall, but we got to get out the flowers, so I decided to get out the flowers tonight. So anyway, I've got this, this burlap, and it's kind of fun because it has, hi Diane, welcome. It has this like orange foil running through it, and so there's lots of different kinds of these new meshes that they have brought out that they're just really cool. So anyway, I thought that the brown in here, you know, using the burlap would kind of work well with the sign. That's one of the tips that I give you. Oh, hi Nick, thanks for joining. So when you are trying to decide, I know it's hard sometimes when you're trying to decide what you want to put in your wreath or what colors you want to use. Well, how do you know? Well, one thing that I always tell people is look at your centerpiece or what it is that you're putting in your wreath, and you can draw from that. So since this is kind of more like an old, more weathered type thing, instead of like using like bright deco mesh type colors, I thought, okay, yeah, no, this kind of screams more burlap to me than, you know, bright orange. And then, you know, you kind of want to look at the colors in your signs or your accent pieces. And you want to draw a color from out of there. And so I wanted to work with orange in the sign. So I have this this orange foil burlap going through it, and then I'm also going to add, so I also wanted to have it show this like whitish creamish part on the sign here, and so I'm adding, you know, some of this mesh into it also. So you just kind of want to do that when you're like picking out ribbons and things like that. Look at your signs or whatever it is you're going to put in there and draw the colors out from there. And that's a good way of, you know, working with colors that I know of. That helps me anyway. Hi, Donna. Oh, wow, Kentucky. That sounds like a fun place to live. Okay, so I'm just going to get my work wreath going here. So there are like, there's kind of like 4 basic methods of how you put deco mesh on. I mean, there's tons of different kinds, but you have your, you know, your basic ones. The last time I was on, I did the spiral technique. The first time I was on, I did the ruffle technique, and I'm going to show you part of the ruffle technique in this one tonight. This one is called the poof technique, and it's the most commonly known one. And then you have one called the curl and loop, and that's actually a combo of the poof and the curl, the spiral. So anyway, I'm going to show you how to do just the poof technique, and it's not very hard. Oh, hi, Kimberly. You found me. Oh, good. Oh, hi, Diana. Nice. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let me see if I can move my hot glue gun. Last time when I was on, actually like really burned the dickens out of my fingers. I got this new glue gun, and it has like 2 settings, and it's like they needed to say that, you know, like the high was like scalding and scorching heat. But so anyway, I turned the glue gun down this time, so hopefully I won't be running out and putting aloe vera on my fingers all night. Oh, hello Natalie. So glad you guys are joining me. Okay, so what you do with your mesh is you get the 21-inch, and you just kind of wrap up the bottom like this, and then you take your first tie and on your work wreath, now on your work wreaths, some people, there's, you know, this is like called like a pencil tie work wreath. That means that the ties that you put the mesh into, these little ties aren't they're not big and bushy. They're not, the other ones look like a pine, you know, like on a pine tree. They're bigger and bushier. I don't use those ones usually because I like to cut the ties out. I don't really like the way it looks, but lots of people do it another way, so that's just me. So anyway, this is a 24-inch work wreath, and so I'm just gonna all you do is just like stick that first end into the twist tie, and then you just take this and twist it. And you only want to twist it like 2 times because you're going to come back around and you're going to open up your ties again and put ribbon in there. So you don't want to, like, you know, scrunch it up like, you know, 5 times, and then when you come back you're just going to have to go undo it like 5 times to get your ribbon back in there. So that's why, you know, only do it like 2 times or so. And there's lots of different ways. Some people don't measure. I am a little OCD, and so I have to measure my loops. So I just have like a measuring tape that I use. You can also use your, do it on your utility mat and measure out. I usually do my poofs 12 inches apart, and that seems to be a really good point. Unless you want your loops smaller. So anyway, especially, oh no, it's freezing up, Mildred. Oh no. Is it good right now, or is it freezing? Oh, thanks, Michelle. Let me know if you guys are having like technical issues. I hope that I don't. Oh, it's fine. Oh, thanks, Ursula. Okay. Okay, so then what I do is I just take my my measuring tape and I measure out 12. Oh, good. That's good. Oh, the technology stuff just freaks the daylights out of me. I'm like, I have a creative brain. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, so then you're just going to measure out to 12 inches, and then you just take it. I kind of like lean over and, you know, kind of hold the wreath form with my elbow, and then just pull it out. And then you just open up your next tie, and you just stick it in. And I always say, oh, and you know what? This is actually perfect. So, like, what do you do if one of your twist ties comes off and it gets, you know, broken? So, there's 2 options. You can use a pipe cleaner, which I have one right here. Even though it's blue, it'll still work. Or you can use the twist tie and just wrap it around it again. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the pipe cleaner just so I know that it's going to stay tacked down, but this does happen. So, but that was awesome timing because now you guys know how to fix a twist tie. Okay, so anyway, so I always tell people, oh, you hot glue it back on, Gladys. Oh, that's a good idea. So then you just go ahead and you twist it on. And I always tell people, if you can measure to the number 12 and twist the tie off of a bread tie, you can make a wreath. It's not that hard. So anyway, you're just going to take it, and it's blurry. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something. Oh, hi, Teresa. Thanks for joining me again. So then you're just going to measure out another 12 inches. And this one does not take as long as trying to put the ruffles on. The ruffle technique probably is the one that takes the longest time. So basically all you're doing is you're just measuring to 12 and then closing bread ties. That's it. It's not hard. This was not hard to do. Oh, I'm so sorry if it's freezing. Ugh. You know, if I even knew what to do, that would be awesome, but I'm so clueless. So you're just gonna go around your wreath frame and you just measure to 12 and keep putting, wrapping your twist tie around it. And when I'm finished putting these around the ties, oh, hi Doris. Oh, hi Natalie. Are you zigzagging or, oh, okay, no, I do everything on the outer ring first, and then I go into the inner ring. It is way too hard, Natalie, to try and go in and out that way on this kind of a work wreath form. So you're going to want to, I wouldn't alternate going in and back and forth from the inner and outer ring. I've never done that. So you're just going to keep measuring to 12. And I'll show you when I get to the end of the bottom ring. Oh, hi, Christina. Let's see. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi, Pam. I'm hoping there's not too many technical difficulties. Oh, it's better now? Oh, good. I just stress so much. It's like I pray before I get on here. I'm like, please just let all the technology stuff work. So, you're just gonna keep like going along your wreath form, and just, you know, measure to 12. You know, I wish that I had, you know, like this magic formula of going, you know, not having to measure, but I don't. I'm a stickler. I want my loops to all look the same. So especially in the beginning, going fast is not as important as getting everything even. And if you want, you know, especially when you're doing it at the beginning and you really want your wreath to turn out and not get frustrated doing it, then I always say make sure that you measure. Because then you know that all your poofs are the same size. And you'll just feel better about it, I promise. So just count to measure out to 12 and stick it in that twist tie. And I always usually do, oh, did I say ties? Did I say times? I can totally see myself doing that. So yeah, I just twist the twist ties only like a couple of times, because like I said, you're going to come back and open them when you put in your ribbon. And that is actually really an important thing that some people miss is, and I did it a lot at the beginning when I was doing wreath making. I would just keep stacking things up on top of each other with the twist ties. So I would, you know, I would add the mesh and, you know, twist it, and then I would come back and put the ribbon on top and twist it again. And then if I had anything else that I wanted to add to it, I would come back. And so then I have, like, you know, it's stacked with the ties being in between. And what that does is it gives you a really, really loose wreath. And you don't want that to happen. You want your wreath tighter, and for it to look fuller, you need to go back and make sure that when you're going to add another element into the twist tie, that you go all the way down to the last layer. So that's why I only twist it like a couple of times. And then I'll show you, there's two different ways you can go up to the next ring. Okay, so what size is the work wreath? Okay, so this is a 24-inch work wreath frame. They measure that's because the size when you're finished with the wreath is going to be about 24 inches. So this is the size that most people do all of their wreaths on, is the 24-inch work wreath. So just keep measuring out to 12. And you can do them smaller if you don't want it this big, that's fine. I just like mine to look pretty and full. So I'm just going to keep opening up these and sticking it in. Hi, Iveth, how are you? I'm glad you're here. Okay, so now here's one other thing that some people forget is when you're done with your twist ties, so when you get to the end, you have to do your one last loop right here. Sometimes people forget and they're like, oh, well, I already did it. But no, you have to rejoin where you left off. So another reason why, don't crank your ties too many times, because you're going to have to open them up again. So how many ties do you have on the outside? Okay, so every work wreath has 18 ties total on it. There are 10 on the bottom and 8 on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So, yeah, they all have that many ties. So that's how, like, you always kind of know how many ribbons, like ribbon streamers you need to cut, and there's just 18 ties. So now that I've come back around, I'm going to open up this twist tie, and I'm going to stick this one in on top of it. But I have to make sure that I undo it, the tie, and go all the way down to the mesh. So now when you're here, there's two different ways that you can go to the next, that you can do the inner ring. And it just kind of depends on your own style. You can either take your mesh like this and go up to the inner ring like this and not cut it off. And sometimes it works good for you and your next tie is really close, and so it's not such a big deal to use this one. But sometimes, if your closest tie is, clear back here, you're going to want to start a new round on the inner ring. So me personally, I usually cut mine here, and then I start over again in the inner ring. So I just cut that off there. I still have my mesh in my hands. And then just make sure that you don't start your next one in the same spot that you ended this one, because then you'll kind of have like your messy ends all on one spot in your wreath. So just kind of be like, just break it out a little bit. So then I just go to the inner ring and I do the same thing. And you're just going to count, measure to 12, and then, twist your ties usually about 2 times. And you just keep measuring to 12. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I know today we were here, my brother and his wife are down at the Shakespeare Festival in Utah. I'm from Utah. Way out here in the West. So anyway, we have a house full of kids as we're watching their kids while they're down there. So they actually just left, which is nice. I won't have to worry about being interrupted. So I just keep just measuring to 12. And I have a new ebook that is coming out within the next couple of weeks. I've been working on it for like the last 3.5 months. It has like, it's not just like written words. It has like 7+ hours of tutorials where, and then heavens, you don't have to watch me for that long, but they're like broken up into little sections. So I would teach you in one section, I might teach you how to, like put the mesh on. And then in other sections, I show you how to add the flowers. If you're interested, you join my mailing list tonight. There's just, the link to join my mailing list is in the description. And you get a free video on just a bunch of money saving tips that I put together. I know that when you are first starting out, you want to know some of those, well, how to save money because everything is so expensive at the beginning. And so anyway, I put that section in the book. But if you join my mailing list, you'll get that free video. And hopefully it will help you. It has like information in there that, sometimes us more veteran wreathers think that everybody just kind of knows that. Whereas you don't necessarily know. And so some of those are like, okay, so Sam's Club and Costco, both, at this time of year, they have sales on 50 yards of ribbon. And I think it's like $8 for 50 yards of ribbon. That is an amazing price. So, and it's good ribbon. I've heard from some people it's not as great this year. But 50 yards is a lot. It's a really good price. So when you see people talking about Sam's Club ribbon, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about, oh, it's time to go down and get the 50-yard rolls of time to go grab my 50-yard rolls of ribbon. And it's nice because they're not all Christmas. There's ones that you can use all year round. So that's another tip that I give you in the video. Try and buy ribbons and things that you can use all year round. Oh, who is this one still on Sam's Club and Costco? So Sam's, they both have it. Sam's will be, they'll have more variety. So, try and go to both of them and get the best of both worlds. So, yeah, you'll just some of those fun tips that just we all think that everybody knows. They're in. So if you want to just click just click the link in the description, and it'll have you join my mailing list, and then you should be able to it'll give you that money saving tip. Okay, give me 1 second. My phone is being silly. Okay, sorry. I did not know what was going on with it. It was, so yeah, you're gonna get a close face shot of my face there right for a minute. So anyway, just keep going, and measuring to 12 is all I'm doing, and then just opening up the next tie and putting it inside the ties, and then just close it. And I tell people, I'm like, if you could count to 12 and untwist a bread tie, then you can make wreaths. Okay, so now I'm back to where I started on the inner ring. So I have to do one more loop. So just gonna do one more to 12. And then always, so here's another little tip. Always save like what's on the end of the roll, because you never know when you'll have some other project that you can use that little bit of ribbon from. And tonight I actually have, I can show you one of the fun ways to use those extra ribbon or extra stuff mesh that you have on the on your bolt after you're done. I usually have more than this. I use this on another project also. But look what you can do with your spare deco mesh parts. Okay, so tonight only my friend Christina Brinker from Virginia Wreath Company, she has this awesome tutorial on how to make these witch hats. And if you just use her code LIVE5, it'll show you, you get like $5 off the tutorial, and you know, she shows you how to make the whole thing. And this is really cool because when you're making wreaths at the beginning, what you want to do, especially if you're selling them, is you want to give people, you know, set different price points, because not everybody you know, can afford like the $80 wreath. So you want to have, you know, like other items that you can use. And the Centerpiece, those witch hats, they're really, really popular. So, and she really has a great tutorial on it. So that coupon code is LIVE5, and it's in her Etsy shop, Virginia Wreath Company. Okay. So now I'm going to show you, so here's the finished look of what the finished poof technique looks like. But now I'm going to show you what I do with a lot of my wreaths, because I like them to look really full, and I like them to have like a fun edge, not just like that hard lined look. So usually what I do is I go through, and in every other tie I'll just use like a ruffle and stick it in there, and it just gives my wreath like an extra little a little bit more elegant look. So what you do is you just have your mesh, and it comes on 10-inch rolls like this, and all you do is you just cut you cut this every 10 inches. And I'll show you how to, after you've cut, like, you know, your roll, you end up with these 10 by 10 squares. And here is how you do the ruffle technique. So you just stick it down, so like every, so it's used to being on the roll, and so it naturally goes down like that. So you want to have it go down like that. That's the side that you want to use. And all you do is just, I usually fold it under to start it, just because it helps a little bit. And then all you do is take your fingers and you just scrunch up the center. And then you have this fun little bow tie, little ruffle. And all I do is I just go in and put it into every other tie. So remember how I told you, like at the beginning, not to, like, you know, twist your tie like 6 times around? Well, this is one of the reasons why, is you're going to open it up again. So you go all the way to the bottom, then you're going to stick that ruffle in, and then you're going to take the twist ties and you're going to close it again. And again, I would only do like 2 twists, because we're going to come back and we're going to put the ribbon in here on top of that. So only do like 2 twists or so. And so I just put this in every other tie. So hopefully you guys, I want you to be able to see. So again, you just take it and you fold that one side under, and then you just go up through the center like this, and it makes this fun little ruffle, okay? One thing that you want to make sure of when you're doing the ruffle technique is make sure that you point the ruffle side down. So you don't want to put it in there, you know, with that side puffing up like this. It's not going to work. You're going to put it in this way. So, and then just undo your tie, stick it in there, and then twist it closed just like a couple of turns. And then you're going to see, number one, how fun it is to have a different complementary color in here. But it's also going to give my wreath kind of a little bit more elegant look, which is what I really like. So, again, you just bend that under and go up through the center, and then find, you know, you want to skip one tie. I only usually put them in every other tie. If I really want to make a really full wreath, I will sometimes make an inner ring, like a middle ring in between them, where I'll add my own pipe cleaners. But that's if, you know, if I'm making like a character wreath or something. Sometimes I'll like use these crossbars and I'll attach pipe cleaners to them, and I'll put like an extra layer of ruffles or something in the center of that if I want it to, you know, be really, really full. But it just kind of depends on what kind of mesh you use and that kind of stuff. So again, you're just gonna flip this under. Oh, thanks, Diana. The pumpkin and the Frankie sign I got from a lady her name's Michelle. She's from Art by Odette, and that's where I got the sign. And in my book, my new ebook that's coming out, I have a whole list of vendors. And if you get the book, there's going to be a discount coupon in there for everybody. For your first item from all the vendors on the list, you get a 10% off. And that's for like my subscribers. And it also comes with, so when you buy the book, you're entered into a private, free, no monthly fee, it's free, private Facebook group. And you can ask questions, and the designers come to you. They will post when they have sales. You'll be able to find out, you know, where all the fun, where's everybody getting all those fun things? It took me a while to be able to figure out, oh my gosh, okay, where did she get that? And, oh, I see these all over, they're so cute, where do I get it? So that's in the book also. So again, if you're interested in the book, it's got everything. I used to teach, I have my degree in elementary education, and everybody learns differently. I learned that when I was teaching the kids. So some people have to have it written out. That's how they learn, and other people have to, you know, just see it. So it has things written out in detail, and then it has, you know, the pictures that go along right there with it. But then in every single section, there's a little video of me teaching you how to do it. Because I am a visual learner. I have to see somebody else do it. And then, oh, you have an education. Oh, that's awesome, Diana. And then I show you how to do it. So I really, really, really wanted to make the book user-friendly. I wanted to, you know, I don't just want to teach you how to make the wreaths. I want to, like, you know, tell you where to get stuff, and, you know, tell you things that everybody thinks that, you know, they just take for granted that you guys know that you can get. So here's another one. So I talked to you guys about the Costco and Sam's ribbon. So here's another one. Don't buy anything at Hobby Lobby unless you have, like, you know, you get it 50% off. So Hobby Lobby, every other week they put their flowers go 50% off. Okay, so you don't want to, if you go to Hobby Lobby and the flowers are on sale, are not on sale, wait for the next week, because then the next week the flowers are going to go on sale for 50% off. And then when the flowers are not on sale, all their ribbon and all their fun signs and stuff, that is on for 50% off. So never buy anything for full price at Hobby Lobby, because you also, and this is also in the book and in the free video that you get if you join my mailing list, is you can always get something 40% off at Hobby Lobby with a coupon. Oh, hi! Hi, Janice! Thanks for joining! So you just download, they always have a coupon for 40% off one item, and that is any item. So they're not always going to tell you that. They're not going to, you know, come to the register and they're going to be like, well, don't you have your 40% off coupon? So anyway, all you do is just download the app to your phone, and then when you get up there to the cashier, you just pop out your phone and you show them the coupon, and you get 40% off, and you just walk out the door and you're a lot happier. So there's another tip. Okay, so I'm almost finished with this, and hopefully you guys can see kind of how they look, how it looks different when it has the ruffles in it. I just think it looks prettier. You have like the colors are just broken up a little bit. I think it gives it a softer edge, which I like that in my wreaths. Oh, hi, Janice. I'm so glad you could join me. Oh yes, Gladys, thank you. Hobby Lobby also has things that go on, like their fall is all 40% off now. That usually happens like halfway through the season that we're in. They'll put it 40% off. Okay, so I finished. I put every other tie has a another color of burlap in there. And can you see it's just kind of a little bit more elegant looking? It's not so round and poofy. And it just depends on what kind of a wreath I'm making. And that's, you know, it's kind of how I decide. So now it's time to put on your ribbon. And I chose, so I have this, this really fun pumpkin one. And again, it's kind of that rustic burlap look. So I chose that. And also it goes with the coloring in the sign. I got this sign from K&J Designs. She's one of my designers in the book. And she makes these really cool, like weathered signs. Anyway, she's a really good person to get stuff from. But anyway, I'm pulling out the color in this sign. And it's the same color as in the ribbon. So that's kind of another kind of a fun little tip. And then here I have like a brown with maroon polka dots. So that's, you know, kind of a fun thing that you can draw from your signs. And then, so I chose these two. And then I kind of have a brighter one that has the gold running through it. So it's a little bit, it's got a little bit of glitter. And that is actually one thing that I really, really love about crafting, is actually that I'm always covered in glitter. But I always, you know, tell everybody, it's just my fairy dust. So it just makes me feel special. My kids don't always love that because, you know, they're covered in glitter half the time too. But it's just fun. Okay, so anyway, so this last kind I'm going to cut for you so that I can show you guys how to do it. This one has some really fun pumpkins in it, and it also matches my sign really well. So this is the shortcut to cut ribbon. So for years I did it the hard way, and the hard way is, you know, you just put it down on your mat and, you know, you cut every 13 inches. But that takes longer. So the faster way to do it is I actually just took pieces of cardboard and I made them different lengths. So this one is 13 inches long. I have one that's 14, I have one that's 12, I have one that's 10, and it just makes it a lot faster when you're trying to cut your ribbon. So what you do is you start at the top, and I need, so there's 18 ties on a work wreath form. And I want, you know, I have I have 4 different ribbons. So that means I'm going to have 2 patterns that I want to stick in here. So I need 9 of each ribbon. So this way I just count as I go. So here's 1. So there's 1 length of ribbon. And then I go down the other side of the cardboard, and that's 2 lengths of ribbon. And then I go down again, and that's 3. So you see how it's measuring it for me really fast? So here's 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then all I do is I cut it off the bolt. And then you just go to your sides and you like cut it off on one side. And then you go to the other side and you cut it off on here like this. And now I have all my ribbon cut. Wasn't that a lot faster? It's really a fast way to do it, and I'm all about saving time. So anyway, that is how I cut my ribbon fast. And then I'm going to show you another way to, it's called like dovetailing your ribbon, or just making like these V-cuts. You want to cut your ribbon so that you get these like angled, so it kind of has, you know, like a little V-cut. It just looks more professional and finished. So let me show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you how to do it the quick way. So I usually, depending on like how thick my ribbon is, I'll do 2 to 3 pieces at a time. I think I'll do 2 to show you. So what you do is you just fold it in half this way, like that. Okay, and then you're going to fold it in half again, like this. Okay, and then you go from the wired side uphill. So make sure you go from the wired side and cut uphill, and then when you're finished, you have your both ends of the ribbon are dovetailed, and that just saved you a lot of time because you didn't have to do them separately, and you got both sides done at the same time. So that's what that's what you call dovetailing, or making a V-cut. So oh, I'm so glad you like the tips. Oh, for Nita, is that how, am I saying it right? So yeah, so anyway, here is, you just fold it in half, and then you fold it in half again, and then I just go from the wired side and I go uphill, and then when you open it, it looks really pretty. And it's just one of those little things that just makes your project look that much prettier. Excuse me. So again, let's just gonna take these, and like I said, sometimes I'll do 3 at the same time. It just depends on how thick my ribbon is. You know, sometimes if it's like a really heavy burlap, you do have to do it one at a time. So just go from the wired side and go uphill. Okay, then I'm down to my last 3, so I think I'm just going to cut all 3 of these ones at the same time. So just fold it in half, and then fold it in half one more time. Oh, I'm glad, Bernita, I'm glad you like the tips. That's what I want to do. I just want to share with you guys what I know. So go from the wired side and then just go uphill, like that. So now I've got all of my ribbon is cut. I pre-cut it so that you guys didn't have to sit there and watch me cut ribbon all night. Okay, so now you're going to go back into your ties. And I'm going to show you another little secret to sometimes that it's a problem that I see a lot of people have. So, thank you, Audrey, for saying that. That makes me feel good. So this is the other hard thing, is that, you know, I like pick out my ribbon colors, and then I go back and forth and go like, okay, which one do I want to add? Which ones do I want to have them go together? So anyway, let me see. Oh, well, I obviously don't want 2 pumpkins together, so I'm going to go like this. So here's one pattern of ribbon that I have, and then here is my other pattern that I have. So I've got my 2 patterns down. Oh, I'm so glad you like how I teach. Thanks, Debbie. So what you do is you just take it and you put it one on top of each other. So like the skinnier one, or if I had two, so this is a 2.5 inch ribbon, and this is a 1.5 inch ribbon. So all I do is just put them one on top of each other, and then when you got the middle, you just kind of find the middle, and you just kind of pinch it between your fingers like this, and then you go over and undo your tie. Make sure that you undo it, because if you don't, you'll have a really loose wreath, and you don't want that to happen. So you just stick it into the twist tie, and then you close the twist tie. Now, I'm not going to be putting any more things into this tie. So now I can twist it, you know, like maybe 3 times or so. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to fluff your ribbon now. And the way you do that is you just pull it apart like this. So you're making an X shape like that. And you want to do that, so that's called fluffing your ribbon. So when I've taught other people how to do this, sometimes they get frustrated and they're like, mine doesn't look like yours. And this is what I tell them. Go, just 1 second. Yeah, I'm so sorry. My phone, I charged my phone right before I started, and it's like saying that it's like low on power. So anyway, I just like jumped out and told my husband, I'm like, I need you to plug in my phone. So I'm sorry I left you. Let's see. How much ribbon to buy for a wreath? Do you get 1 roll of each design? Yes, I usually get 1 roll for each design. Usually you end up using about 3 yards on every wreath. If you do it like this, that's a basic. What you're gonna use is around 3 yards. So all you do is just pinch it in the center, and so now I'm gonna have the, you know, like a different pattern. So again, you're just going to untwist your twist ties and stick your ribbon in there. Now I'm going to do it the unpretty way so you guys can see what I'm talking about when people get frustrated and they're saying, well, mine doesn't look like yours. What they're doing. So again, you're just going to put the one on top of each other. And the best ribbon streamer length that I cut my ribbon streamers at is 13 inches. That seems to be just long enough, but not too long and not too short. So good rule of thumb is, you know, 13 inches. Can you plug it in to the extension cord? I don't care what you have to. So just plug it into that one. Plug it into this one.
I don't know where that one is, sorry.
No, it's right there. The one that has all of the different ties in it. Can you plug it into my phone, please?
Where's your phone?
It's up there recording. Sorry, we're just trying to fix my phone really quick. Here, Jared, use this one. Jared, use that one. And then just plug that one in. And then you can use it. You can still have both from here. Okay, now will it reach? Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. I promise, next time I will make sure the phone is charged. Okay, so we're good. I'm really, 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 really sorry. Okay, so this is the problem that some people have. Is what they do is they don't separate their ribbon. So you have it like this, and you just, you know, pinch it in the center. And then you go to your tie and untwist it. And you put, you know, your ribbon in there, and then you can crank it like, you know, 3 or 4 times now, because you're not going to, you know, I'm not going to put anything else in here. Okay, so now here's the problem that I see a lot of people do. So see how mine right here is an X? Well, I fluffed it. Okay. What a lot of people do is they don't fluff their ribbon. So they're looking at it and they're going, why does mine look like a hot mess and yours doesn't? I'm like, well, yours doesn't look like a hot mess in the first place. And number 2, oh, your daughter says I look really young. Oh, tell her thank you. I'm like in my 40s. So that makes me feel good. So anyway, what you need to do is you need to pull your ribbons apart, and then then it'll give you. So you just pull them. You want opposite sides, like this. So see now how it lays out and it's nice and pretty. So now you don't have to get frustrated when you're putting your ribbon on. You're like, why doesn't mine look like hers? Just try fluffing your ribbon. And I do know some people that they don't fluff it while they're going. They fluff it later, which is fine. I just wanted you guys to know that if you're worried because yours doesn't look like mine, that's why. And I'm so glad you guys are liking what I'm saying. So, and you know, even though this, I get worried while I'm doing this that I'm just boring people and they just want me to go, just go faster, go faster. That is one thing about crafting that is very therapeutic for me. It is, I don't have to concentrate on other things that are going on in my life. I deal with chronic pain issues that they haven't been able to figure out, you know, what's really wrong. And so I have chronic pain a lot of the time. And so one of the ways that I deal with it is by doing wreaths. And I like to call it, I call it the zone. And it's just where you are so ingrained into figuring out what patterns would look good together, and what flower should I put there, or what would this look? This would make it balance better. And then all of a sudden, I'm so concentrated on that you know, I'm not thinking about how much I hurt anymore. And then just as women, we like to create. I like to be validated, you know. You wake up in the morning and then that's what I love about doing wreaths, is that I surprise myself every time. You know, when I finish a wreath and I look at it and I go, wow, you know what? I did not know that that was in me when I woke up this morning. And that's just like one of the reasons why I like to do wreathing. So anyway. Oh no. The video's frozen. Is it still frozen? Yikes, it's working on mine. Can you guys like give me a thumbs up if it's working for you? Did you try her for, okay, so some people are still hearing me. Oh, good. Okay. So now I'm just I'll put the ribbon on the bottom layer. And it doesn't matter, you can do it on whatever, you know, you can do the outer ring first. You can do the inner ring first. Oh, 15 years chronic pain. Oh yeah, crafting helps. Oh yeah, Missy. Oh, I'm so sorry. It is. It's hard. It's hard to hurt all the time. But just like working with my hands is just very therapeutic. Oh, thanks. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm glad it's still working. All right. And again, all you're doing is just stacking one ribbon on top of the other one. And then making sure that, you know, you undo the twist tie all the way to the bottom. And then you can crank it closed, you know, like, you know, give it 3 or 4 good turns. Because you're not going to be opening it up again. But you still want to be, you know, fluffing your ribbon as you go. So how many of you guys, like, feel like your summer went forever? Oh, I know, the ribbon's pretty, huh? That is a problem. Okay, so honestly, I need you guys to tell me if you're like a ribbon addicts. I am a ribbon addict. I don't think you could ever have too much ribbon. There are just so many fun patterns and sizes, and so I just, yeah. I've got lots of ribbon. But you know, it's actually also the cheapest accessory to add. You know, when you start getting into buying the flowers and stuff, it starts to get a little bit more expensive. So, okay. So, can you guys see how full and fluffy this is looking? So, if you can kind of see the side that I've done, the fluffed, and here's the side that isn't quite done yet. Can you see how much that kind of just, you know, really bumps up your wreaths? I just think it looks prettier if you fluff it while you go. Oh no, you just got out of the hospital, Gladys? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, too fast, yeah. I keep telling myself that it's okay if fall comes because, you know, all of a sudden you can make like the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies again. And you actually feel like you're okay to turn the oven on because it's not going to heat up the house so bad. But I don't know, some of you guys live down there in Florida or in Arizona. Man, you guys probably love it. Alright, so we're almost finished here putting the ribbon on. Sorry, it's just kind of the tedious part. I'm so sorry to hear you were in the hospital, Gladys. I'm glad you're doing better. Oh, you can't get in the pool? Oh, fall's your favorite season, Renee? Yeah, it's kind of nice to have the changing of the seasons. You know, something a little different. Oh, I'm glad you think it's looking beautiful, Gladys. Alright, I have one more twist tie for ribbon. And then we're done with ribbon. Even though I think the ribbon's really pretty. Man, I hope we're not having too many difficulties with the technology. Bringing out the jeans, sweaters, hot chocolate, pumpkins, and cookies. Woohoo! Yep, Christina. Bring on the pumpkin cookies. But it has to be chocolate chip, not raisins. Oh, you go in the oh, that's good, Pam. You visit fall in New Hampshire, huh? Apples and pumpkin picking. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so now it's got all the ribbon on it. And see how pretty that looks? That's another thing that I really love about fall is working with all the different golds and browns, and I just think it's fun. It's another group of colors to work with. So I have a wood sign here, and I got the wood sign from K&J Designs, and she does amazing stuff. It's really, really cute. In my new ebook that's coming out in a couple of weeks, I have a list of designers that they'll give you like 10% off your first item with them, and the book comes with a free Facebook group, so then like the vendors and things, they'll post inside the group what time when they're having their sales, so you'll know, you'll be able to, number one, you'll find out where to get all the cute stuff, but then number two, they'll also be telling you when, they're having their sales or discounts and stuff. So hopefully you like that. Okay, so now when you have the wood signs, since this one's thicker, I actually had to put eye screws in there, and the way that you do that is you just get take out a hammer and a nail, and you just pound it into the wood a little bit, and then you take one of these little screw eyes and you just twist it in, and then you're just gonna thread your wire through it, and that's what you do with your heavier signs, instead of just, you know, like stapling it in there and using a pipe cleaner. When they're bigger like this, or they're thicker, I always like to do this, put the screw eyes in. So anyway, I'm just threading my wire through here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. I'm just gonna keep going and pray that you can hear me. So anyway, I just put my wire through the screw eye, and then I just twist it on. Like, and then all I do is take another one and put it in through here. And then just twist around. Now this is really, really important. This other little tip that I made myself. I did this when you're finished putting, you know, like you get to this point and you've put all your mesh and all your ribbon and stuff on here. Don't start adding stuff with it laying flat on the table, because all of your stuff is going to end up just right here, and you don't want that to happen. You need to hang it up so that you can see the entire wreath, or else you're going to have everything smack in the middle, and that's not what you want. So hopefully I'm going to try back here, and then if you guys can't see, I'll move it over to this other one. So oh, and I need to add a wreath hanger, so I'll show you how to do that. So this is just rustic wire. You can get it at like Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You can use a pipe cleaner, whatever you want. But anyway, you just cut off a little bit. Let's see. You guys, am I still on? Give me a thumbs up if I'm still on, because mine says that I'm totally interrupted. Let me see. I was actually going to try and do it with I'm going to do it with a blue pipe cleaner. Oh, good. You can still hear me. I'm going to do it with the pipe cleaner so I can show you guys a little bit better. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Okay. Alright, so what you do, and you would do this with the rustic wire too, is you just make a loop like this. And I always kind of stand and like put my wreath up. And then I kind of say, okay, which way does it look the best? What do I want there? Where do I want the top to be? Where do I want the bottom to be? And this one looks pretty good everywhere. Okay. So when you're adding a ribbon hanger, you just fold it like this, and you go underneath like that. And so you have your two little ends down here. So you're just gonna like push them through, And then you're going to wind it on the one side. You're going to wind it around itself like that. Okay, and then once you're done with that side, you're going to come and you're going to do it on this side. And you're just kind of, you know, winding it around itself. And then sometimes, and then I usually just take it and I twist it one more time, a couple of times, like this. And then I feel it's pretty tight and secure. So that's how you add a wreath hanger. Okay. Are you guys good? Can you see it this time? I tried to really move the table up because last time it was pretty far away. So I'm going to put my sign in the center this time. Okay, so you guys like it there? I think this is gonna, I'm really happy with how it's turning out. So then all you do is just pull your wire through to the back. So I'm just going to get it mounted on this side, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing on the other side. You just take it and you're wiring it to the frame. You want to make sure that you wire it all the way as much as you can. Wire stuff on. Instead of, you know, just gluing, you want to... especially heavy things, because the deco mesh isn't, you know, it's not that strong. So it's gonna, you know, it's gonna end up pulling it down. So you want to wire it to your frame. So, okay. All right, so I'll take it down and I'll show you what I'm doing. So all you do is you just go on the back here. So you just go through on the back, and this is a really long wire, so I'm going to clip it. And then you're just going to wrap it around the frame so that it's going to hold it tightly and secure, especially when it's a really heavy sign. You want to make sure that you wire it to the frame. And when you're using like bigger, heavier wood signs, I always suggest using a mesh that is tougher, because it's not gonna, you know, like you have that problem where your signs will get like smashed. It's just like smashing the mesh. You want to have something here behind it to kind of hold up your sign. So that's another reason why I put ruffles in with the poof technique. It kind of helps that. Oh, I like it. It's looking really pretty. Okay, so I kind of wanted to add a few flowers. So I have these pumpkins. And I got these at Hobby Lobby last year. So that's also a nice tip, is buy when things go on clearance, and then the next year you'll have it, and it's, you know, it'll be on sale, and you'll be able to go down and get it out of your stash. You'll be like, woohoo! I got that for a really great deal. So I thought that I might use these fun little pumpkin picks and stick those in. And then I had like this whole bouquet that I bought. And that's one thing with flowers. So when you're going and you're buying flowers, don't buy them like one flower at a time. It's 10 times more expensive that way. What you want to do is, you know, go down to the floral department and buy your flowers in bushes, because it's going to end up, you know, saving you a lot of money by going down to the bushes. It saves you money, but it also does two other things for you. And that is, they have chosen for you what colors look good together. So if you're having problems with color and you want to know what looks good, well, oh, somebody who's like a trained professional actually knows that these colors look good together. So, you know,